So the problem with the water mine, besides the low water levels, but it's good to see that I haven't pumped for 2 days and it has filled up actually more in those 2 days. But the problem is the duckweed that's in here, it keeps clogging up the filter. So I've got to try and make a plan with that. This system is working well. I can see still a bit of water in. I might top it up. In fact, I am going to try and top it up. Pigs are drinking well over here. Okay, no water coming out yet. So let me try and prime it a little bit more. I think that there's just stuff on that duckweed on that net, on the filter. Literally, as I turned around to go and sort it out and prime it again, the water started coming. Yeah, it's getting clogged up again. Okay. It's coming every now and then. But at least there's a bit more water running into that little pond over there. So that's good. They've got water to drink, they've had a bit of a wallow, they've had a bit of a mud bath. So everybody's happy over here. Are you a rock dog, Juno? Are you doing Tandy's thing on the rock? Light isn't very good, so I'm not sure if you can see what I mean. But this is all, like now having pumped some of the water out, it's just like that. You can see the pipe is just covered in duckweed. I've got to try and get this duckweed out of here. But I'll leave this now a couple of days. I'll just use town water in the meantime, and I leave this, give it a couple of days. So I only pump water from here, I reckon, every 3rd day. But I need to get rid of this duckweed that's all over here. So this wall, this like low wall, that I left here, that I've packed my suitcases on rather than putting them in the shed because of mice. This wall appears to be home to a large mouse. And this mouse hasn't got the memo that mice must be quiet, because, oh my goodness, this is the noisiest, loudest mouse ever. So, it's made me, like, I'm packing up more and more, like, of my things are in plastic tubs because this mouse likes to scratch through things. So, what I am going to be doing is, once I start now with my cord wall, and when I start getting onto pointing that other wall, I'm actually going to point this as well. And close up these holes so that this is no longer a lovely home for a mouse. So I heard it scratching in a box right next to my bed. So I sort of, with the box that I keep all my receipts and stuff in. So I banged it on the ground. Mouse jumped out, ran right past. Tandy was sleeping over here. The other one is still sleeping. Right past sleeping dogs, and the dogs didn't even blink. Useless mouse catchers. Useless. Yes, you. You didn't catch that mouse. It ran right past you. Chris is making a meal of it. Oh, he's scratching his bum. Ah, right, Cocoa Pop is a bit... Look at Chris. Chris. Oh, Cocoa Pop's pinchy. Chris, you got to move a bit faster to get a piece of apple. Look what you look like. Oh my goodness. He's very muddy.
So handsome.
He thinks he's sort of like looking beautiful for Cocoa Pop.
Yeah.
Crackling.
So the piglet squealing has made Coco's milk, it's brought down the milk, so hopefully it'll dry up now. Yes, Cocoa Pop, you did such a good job. And Chris is in here. So while I was in town, I collected lots of little bits and pieces, because when you do make the long trek into Castelo Branco, you want to make it worthwhile and get as many little things as possible that have been on your list and you've been waiting for when you make a trip. So that was yesterday. So Stephen and Natalia gave me some cherries, and I'm going to do what Nick suggests. You soak them in water so that if there's any worms and that inside, they will come out. And I've got a couple of little plants as well. Right, so they can soak in water. Probably let them soak in water overnight. Just put up one of these old-fashioned thingies, and already I've got my first victims stuck on it. It's the day after weaning, and Cocoa Pop's teats are a little bit swollen this morning, filled with milk, which is to be expected. So hopefully she'll be able to dry up without any problems. She seems to be eating well. Chris is in here already. The two of them have had like spa treatment, both having a mud bath. So all good. One thing with pigs, unless you have the water in that barrel with the nipples like I've got, you can't keep the water clean because they like to stand in it when they drink. But this morning I'm going to put just into Cocoa Pop's water a couple of squirts of apple cider vinegar, just as a bit of a pick-me-up for her. It's supposed to be very good. Okay, she maybe can smell it. I don't know, she can drink it. No, she's going to go to the water that doesn't have the apple cider vinegar in. Come on, Cocoa Pop, this is supposed to be a pick-me-up for you. Okay, she didn't really drink any water. Sometimes I just sits, and other times I sits and thinks. So this morning I'm thinking about if there's any way I can tie the rake, which I have here, if I can tie the rake to the telescopic pole without losing the rake. So that's what I'm going to try and do this morning. So that, okay, so the purpose for this is to try and catch some of that duckweed in my water well. So I've got the telescopic pole extended out. I'm going to try and tie it up over here. I'm a little bit worried about the weight of the duckweed making me end up losing my rake. But I'm going to try it. I've got to get that duckweed out. Now I'm thinking, why am I messing around with string? Why don't I just get duct tape? What do you say, Juno? Should I just get duct tape? A wise woman called Louise, well, an occasionally wise woman called Louise, said that breakfast is a reward for you to have after you've got completed a major task. Well, my major task is this duckweed, so here we go with the tape. This might be a two-person task. This. Let me just get it roughly together and then I will tighten it up. Oh, does help if the sticky part is facing down. I'm doing such a great job at this, so hopefully I'll be able to get it off again. Pigs can hear me over here. I have literally fed them not even 20 minutes ago. But the minute they see me or hear me, they don't remember they've just eaten. Right. Seems secure. I don't know how secure it'll be when the duckweed is on the end. It's worth a try. The good news is that it's filled up, got more water in since I pumped yesterday morning. But definitely going to try and get this stuff out. Got to try and think where I can put my GoPro so I don't lose the thing. So you can see the process. Oh, yes. If you can see there. Oops, I'm a bit nervous about going too close to the end, even though there is like a little beach down there. Right. Got a whole lot. I remembered to bring a bucket because apparently this is very good animal feed, so I should be able to fill up a bucket of this for the animals. So I have two lots of good news and one lot of very bad news. So the first bit of good news is, look, I've got this big bucket filled with duckweed, okay, which I can give to the pigs. The second bit of good news is that I've got a lot of the duckweed out and it's looking much better. But the third bit of news, which is the very bad news, is that I caught I hooked the pump pipe to get the duckweed off the end that was blocking the filter, and I have accidentally, when I threw it back in, the filter came off and it's somewhere in the bottom of this water mine. So I now have a pump with a pipe and no filter on the end. I don't know if that'll work. I don't know how I'm going to try and get that other thing out. I suppose I need to find some young person that can go spelunking down the side of this into that pond to try and find the filter top, because I ain't spelunking anywhere over here. Well, let's see if pigs like duckweed. Do you guys eat this? Oh yes, we seem to be chewing it up. In fact, he's not letting Cocoa Pop get any. Maybe I must put an extra bit in for her. Hey, Cocoa Pop. Okay, they like duckweed. Let me share this with the others. Seems like only Cocoa Pop and Chris are getting stuck into that duckweed. The others aren't sure what it is. The two boys aren't interested at all. The girls are pushing it around, but I don't know. They're looking to see if there's anything to eat under it. The duckweed is what you eat, you silly piggies. Cinnamon Bun is like covering her nose with the mud. That seems to be the... They don't seem to know what it is. I don't know, maybe you're supposed to give it to them dried. I just heard duckweed was good for animal feed, but I only have two pigs that seem to want to eat it. The others just move it around. Maybe when it dries out, they'll eat it. So 9 a.m, chores are all done, and I have sorted out the duckweed. Pigs aren't that excited about it, excepting Cocoa Pop and Chris. But we'll see. Maybe they'll eat it when it dries out. My next problem I've got to think about how I'm going to solve is I've managed to drop the filter part from the pipe for the water pump into that water mine. Now I've got to try and figure out how to get it out. But first breakfast. I think I deserve it, Louise. Did a bee inspection this morning and all good. The box with the blue insulation around needs to get a honey super on the top. And we made an interesting discovery. I'm not going to go too close, but the box that had the wax moth in, when I lost the bees in that box, so then I ended up with only one hive. Then I had a swarm move into that box. We put them in a new box, so then I had two hives again. And today we've noticed that this wax moth box, which is under the eucalyptus tree here, has another swarm in it, so there's bees in it again. I'm not going to go too close to the other side because apparently they are quite angry, this lot. And when you lift the lid up, they've made their own frames, because this box had no frame, so they've created their own, like, I don't know, honeycomb or something from the lid. So we're going to get another box and move them from this box into a new box, and then I'll have 3 beehives. But yeah, they seem to keep swarming to this wax moth box. Okay, so it's a little bit cooler now than this morning. I'm back with this contraption over here to see if I can somehow or other drag that filter, water filter, out from the bottom. I don't know how deep it goes or where it goes, because I really don't want to have to try and climb down here, because I don't think I'd be able to get out. So let's give it a go. 4th attempt, and I've managed to catch it. Now I've got to try and work it up. This is a girl that never gives up. Oh my God, I did it. Now to try and attach it onto the pipe so that it doesn't fall off when I put it back in the water. Success! Right, I have a few days water lined up, and I have got 2 bags of food which I'm about to put into the wheelbarrow and take down to the feed shed. Never too old, right? 60 kilos there. Now, to get it down to the shed. I might possibly have caught a little bit of sun today. I think I need to start wearing a hat.
Life goes up and it goes down. I know my mom taught me that. I figured why we fool around so little, and we keep track of time, being so serious. idiots thinking it will matter, keep me company downtown before the clock runs out. Sun is shining, but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass, but I'm not gonna wait.